start, can I put 7.4 meters?
It's less than 7.5.
Yeah, but what is 20 gallons of sodium chlorine?
That's,
There's sodium chloride and there's chlorine
no,
gas.
this is, what's it called, they're in 5-gallon containers, like.
Oh, that's chlorine.
It's chlorine.
Yeah, it's liquid bleach.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
What do you think we should do with it? He says it ages,
Yeah, and the lawn, after about 6 months is about half strength.
that's what he said. So what do you think we should do?
I don't know.
Just
So I don't know, pour it in them RBCs, but
Can we use that in the water tank, but by the time we clean it again, they'll probably start getting old.
yeah. We'll do something.
I think they used it in RBCs already, that's what's left over.
What are you gonna do with the gallon, get the Nashua?
Well, we're gonna hopefully, since we gotta pay all these costs, why can't, when they need all, why don't we just start pumping it in our system and let it go over there?
Yeah, that would work, but I think that gets old too, it crystallizes eventually.
Yeah, that's what it says, we gotta get rid of it. Okay.
Yes, he was. Maybe he's not here already.
Yeah.
Let me punch you in the shoulder, maybe that one just seems a little better. That's the right hit, that hit, and you end up making it so bad,
That's great.
you overcompensate.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do on Saturday? Are you gonna put it back in slow for Saturday? I would. Do you know what happened? I went to church. I didn't look behind, and I was one of these. And I'm like, and that's exactly what I said. I will never use it again.
No, I shouldn't, that's off. What is that color?
So I went on Friday for oil change.
Yeah.
And I came back with it. It's a little too technical. So like with my right arm, it was very, you turn on the heat, you turn the radio, you turn the radio. So it's very big and I like that. It's too much distraction. I don't like that. So this has a little bit too many things. So I'm like, I got the sport mode and what's the, I had it's the where it was red on the highway.
Oh.
And I didn't know what gear it was in. You can shift it with buttons. And I
I
was
do
like,
that in the whole people one.
yeah, and I was telling my boys were in class, oh, I get this out of here. It was like,
Run off the gas.
Yeah.
And then go back to the regular.
well, I pulled over. Shut it off.
I almost ready to put the door, but I got in and I was stepping on it to get out of the seat.
And you gotta find the wall.
What's going on?
It was.
And the gas is in one.
That was really fun.
Well, that's what this was, up to 8, you know, so I'm sitting around here, and my oldest, there's 15, she was like, Mom, we're gonna get in the gas, because I was like, read. And I'm trying to get all of this, and trying to get it out. But yeah, so that was my oil change. I mean, I did that. But I was 7,000 miles over my lease, and it wasn't due until they forgave all my money. Plus I had equity in the vehicle, so I was able to apply that. I mean, obviously at this point in time, we did find it a little bit wacky to be making, you know, financial stuff. But a vehicle I never did.
So that's
Yeah.
basically you got back. So
Well, I'm constantly, well, you see, yeah, and that's just when I go with that entrance. I also go with the other ones too. Yeah.
Sent a full truck.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wasn't my problem.
Make it start crying.
Depends on which one.
No, not yet.
Okay. She's with the 8.2. She'll get up and speak with the people.
Oh, okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. They called me about that.
Yeah, I won't be here all night.
Where I go. We gave a couple of ideas where.
I think you're good to go.
Ready to go?
Mhm.
Okay, we're ready.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll call this meeting to order. First up will be roll call.
Councilor Ross,
Here.
Councilor Jibbery,
Here.
Mayor Levine,
Here.
Councilor Thronson, and Councilor Levine absent.
Next up is the pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, number 5, we move on to a consent agenda. Do we have any discussion, pay bills? You fine with them? Want a motion, pay bills?
I'll make a motion to accept the consent. agenda.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. On number 6, we have appearance. Nashua Kiwatin School representative here?
Kent,
Not yet? Okay.
Someone from ICS.
Chris, you want to step up right away and with unfinished business for discuss surplus items for sale?
I have no idea what that is. I have nothing for sale, nobody gave me a list.
Eric was gonna put a list together.
Oh, okay, well, he's not here tonight, so we just skip by that. I just assumed that if you could usually sell the cards on.
Yeah, no one brought me a list or anything. so-
Okay,
But
no
they,
problem.
okay.
Alright, next up, we'll review the S&S construction quote for the cabin in the park.
Mayor Levine,
Yes,
the quote came in for the new handicap ramp steps at $16,674.51. We have received a donation from Dan Kelly for $10,000. We received another $2,500 from the Nashwauk Area Community Fund. That still leaves a gap there. Is the council, would the council direct me to look for funds elsewhere? or make the difference up, or what is the council's preference?
That leaves us what, like 4,100 or so short?
Yep.
Yeah. I'll make a directive that you can look for other funding sources.
Thank
And I'll support.
Can we set this up so that we can move forward with it? And
once
so they
it's
can
done.
keep working on it, and then if, if we don't find funding, we'd have to pick it up, but to keep looking for funding, I think we'll find it and pay for the whole thing. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Mr. Attorney?
Yeah, we could do that. The motion would need to be amended essentially so that you would seek and accept funds for the project.
I'll amend my motion. To seek and accept funds for the cabin project.
For just a second.
And then I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, 7.3, people service revised inventories.
So this is with the 20%
Credit.
credit.
So it was easier for them to provide you with credit memos. There's 2 of them.
Yep.
Strictly for the labor. So if that's acceptable to the council after our discussions at the last meeting, we would need a motion to go ahead and pay those claims.
I'm okay with the 20% reduction.
So the credit was this 4,910? Is that right?
There's 2 of them.
Yes.
There's two, yeah.
Yeah, I think the credit was, I mean, it is what it is at this point in time, so it was nice that we were able to get that. So if there isn't any other discussion with it, I'll make a motion to pay the people services bill. In the amount of
21,000.
21,907.25.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Okay, we need a motion to utilize the remaining 20 gallons of chlorine and 2,000 gallons of alum at the sewer plant. So what we're gonna do with this is stuff that's left over from as we're shutting down this plant, moving over to the new part. We're gonna try to do a deal with Nashua to use the alum, or we can just pump it into our line and send it over to them. And the chlorine, that's, if we can use it, we'll use it. If not, we can use it over there. If we can't, we'll use it at Keewatin. Then maybe they'll fund us or something. Through
Okay.
people's.
It's better to be used than wasted.
So, yeah. So there's like 2 or 3 different things that could happen there, but we just don't want to cover it with a motion to make sure nobody's running off with it, I guess.
Well, I'll make a motion to utilize the remaining 20 gallons of sodium chlorine and 2,000 gallons of aluminum, is it?
Yep.
At the sewer plant, or Keewatin, or the 3 areas.
I'll second.
Any further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, next up, under new business, we need a resolution to apply for and accept funds from Masaba Metallics for maintenance to the existing pavilion and improvements at O'Brien Reservoir.
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution to apply and accept funds from the sum balance for maintenance to the existing pavilion or improvements of the pavilion as a board.
And I will support.
Any further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. 8.2.
Stand up.
Yep,
I'm official. Can I have to use the microphone?
it doesn't work.
It doesn't. So I'm Shelley Keewatin. I am part of our Spartan Booster Club. I'm also a teacher at Keewatin Elementary, but I'm not representing the board. So when the new bank is going in, we used to have a camp trailer, right? So it can't be there. There's not a place for it to be. And as a group, we definitely still want to have it. It is a great fundraiser. And then Kelly does match what we make, and so it's worth keeping. That said, we need a spot for it, and we don't know what that would be or what that would look like. We're hoping somewhere in the city that's easily accessible and that wouldn't be a burden to the city or an eyesore. That's one thing I know Nashrock has had some concerns when garbage and things. I mean, I work here in town, so I drive by it every day. I'm comfortable making sure that it's not, left with stuff that shouldn't be there. But we'd really like to have a spot for it. I did have a recommendation from Dan Kelly. His idea was like by the water tower, but I don't know what's available or what would be a place for citizens to be able to bring in their cans, easily accessible, without it being an issue for the city. I don't know what ideas there are, but I just wanted to bring it to you. I don't know if it's a discussion of if you have another idea or if you're willing to find another space for it, or what do you think? I mean, I don't know, or is it something that you're willing to have us do? Because we have, Nina Pleshy also had recruited her husband to be the pickup don't work. And so we work really well to help our families help us. But that said, I mean, we would man it and monitor it and make sure it's not an issue. And if it were an issue, then we would have to figure out another plan, but we want it to be a fundraiser without it impacting. We don't want an eyesore for the city either. It's overflowing and people dropping off things that don't want it. So I don't know if it's just a discussion thing or what you.
The water take, that's kind of a tough place there.
Yeah, and that was just an idea. I don't know if it's,
I was thinking, but, yeah, but I need to, I was thinking, where you guys used to have it, you know,
down by
by,
the rink.
yeah, by the rink, just move it down farther to the entrance to the ball field.
And is that something that you, I mean, as far as maintaining that area, is that something that you guys would approve? Is that accessible?
Yeah.
I mean, you're the ones that own that, and it's not for
Right.
anybody else, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody else goes down, or it's, you know, from skating
What is
rink
it for
to
track
there.
and field, eh?
That's just one spot.
Right, I mean, it's a easily accessible spot, and people drive by it, and it's close to where you can. I mean, we're fine with whatever would work for you, or what, if you're willing to have us do it, that would be awesome. I have that meeting at 6:30 tonight, so if I have information to share, that's great, and if not.
No, I think your spot is good because it's, people are already used to going that way.
They are.
The other part I was thinking about was the other entrance, like where people park by that trail.
Well,
But I don't know if, because it's out of the way, it's not bothering anybody. The only concern I have with it, because I was trying to think of like where and how we could put this without it causing a problem.
Well, you don't want it to, because people
Yeah.
can pull over and drop it off, right? So that is I mean, there's a place to pull over there.
Right.
So that's true.
Big
Normally you
wide.
can go into the park thing when kids play softball or whatever, drive in and they could park and then do it. So somewhere in that location.
But I mean, I don't think that that's a bad spot down there, because
It's closer to where the other one was.
yeah, and people are,
I got a call today, as a matter of fact, where, we can't find it.
Well, and when people have it, bringing stuff to Nashrock, and so we are looking to just have one basically because I live on the Higgins side of Keewatin. Plus she's, like, you know what I mean, like, we're we're looking at just doing one. We don't have, right now, people that have been manning the Nashrock one are. So we're willing to take over, but we're just gonna do one.
I would support the spot that you
Okay.
said.
I agree.
Yeah. I
We'll
think
make
it's
sure
fine.
we keep it plowed and stuff like that.
Well, and that's, and for us, like I said, the benefit is I drive by it every day, and then, making sure that, if there's any issues, to let us know, but I don't think anything, it's gonna get filled, and we're gonna be able to empty it, make some money, and put it back.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Do I have to do anything official about that, like write something up or anything?
I think so.
No,
You're good.
We're working on it and we'll deal with it when it's known.
And is it okay if I go for the rest, because I'm getting ready for our fall festival tomorrow, I got the next slide.
Sure can.
good luck.
Thank you for coming.
And, and
8.3.
Under new business, 8.3, review the health insurance proposal. We looked at this last week.
Mhm.
And we also, in your packet, you'll see you got another health insurance plan, but that's kind of something you could take home and look at for maybe next year. Because the contract isn't run out yet, so we can't be switching over. You know, for next year's negotiation.
Yep.
We can find a better deal, and no sense, doesn't hurt to look. But as far as this other one with Northeast, I guess we could probably approve that tonight then.
So it's just the same one then, right?
Susie gave you a presentation at your last meeting.
Mhm.
She went over the increases. It was $100 per plan.
Yeah, I would be, in support of just staying
Okay.
with that.
Do we have a resolution to control?
I just need, we'll sign.
Huh?
We'll sign the contract.
Okay. Do you have one?
In the office.
In the office, okay, so we need a motion then to approve it.
Council.
Send me a motion to approve the contract for health insurance for the place.
So I'll make a motion to approve the contract, for the health insurance.
I'll second.
Northeast
Any
Cooperative.
further discussion? All in favor?
I,
Motion carried. Eight point four, approve Nashua Keewatin High School yearbook ad.
Councilor Miraz, in the past, you have done a advertisement for the city of Keewatin. Do you recall what it was? Is it a picture or is it the council or?
No, it's half public utilities, half city. I can't remember exactly what we do, but, I would say that it is attached to, it's attached to something. Like, in the last year's bills or,
Would the council like to keep it the same as before, or did you want to change it and do something different?
we can keep it the same. I
Okay.
mean, yeah, I think I don't know exactly what it is. But it is, it's half, and they split the cost between the public utilities and the city.
Very good. Okay, so we need a,
So I'll make a motion to approve the Nashua Keewatin High School yearbook ad to do the same, split it between the city and the public utilities.
and I will support that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
I,
Motion carried. Under 8.5, review the wages for rink attendants and casual labor positions.
Mayor, Councilor Levine, put that on the schedule to discuss. I think it's important that we stay a little bit competitive and we're not getting the applications that you used to get here. Currently, I think I included in your packet what you pay for casual labor and for seasonal workers.
So we're at 15 for casual labor, seasonal workers are 12, and the rink attendants 12.
and we haven't had, a large pool of applicants since I've been on the council.
No,
No, we're lucky if the people that do it return. We always have one, and maybe two that return. minus the person that floods, but other than that,
Are you suggesting something?
For casual labor or rink attendant, would the council entertain $15 an hour and then casual labor $18 or $17 an hour?
so is the casual labor just applicable to one person? Is that just for the person that floods?
No,
No.
this casual labor
We're
you
talking
currently
for the whole
have.
city.
Oh, so this just isn't for the ice rink?
No.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha, thank you.
This would have worked well if we would have been able to have the budget meeting.
Okay.
So that we know where we're at.
Okay.
So can we
We table this?
it? Yeah, let's do that.
Let's table it till we figure out.
So we have a motion to table?
Yes.
And I'll support that.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Mayor Levine,
Yes.
in our attendance, we have Kent Corbett
Yes.
from the school district. As an appearance, would you like to go back up to Kent?
Yeah, we'll go back up to the front and you'll have to go up to the podium.
Yeah, well, my apologies, I was told that 5:30 is when the meeting started. I'm actually here in replacement for Superintendent Villeneuve, for the Nashua Keewatin School District. I do have a short presentation. Is there a way for me to hook up? Is there Wi-Fi that brings you to there, or? I'm thinking about the look on your face, maybe not.
There may be, but
But
as
there
you
may
can
be, but we
tell,
don't know.
everybody up here is perplexed by that.
You'd have to hook up,
Like a
unless
USB
you,
or
no, unless you send it via email.
I could send it via email if you're hooked into it.
So the reason
I am
we're
not.
getting the blank stares is we're now live on YouTube, and so
Oh,
it's
great.
a different platform.
Yep.
And we haven't, you'd be our first person that's asked to share the presentation. I can look over it quick.
Well, I can certainly just speak to it, but it'd be a lot more fun if it was a lot more interesting, it should be anyway. As you can see, I'm gonna have a drone video of the,
You don't have it for
from
this one?
last week, on flyover.
Is this the only one?
Site as it is
No, this is
today. So, yeah, a few pictures to
Mm.
share, and diagrams to share.
Yeah,
on
let
the
me
plans
see
of the
something here
school.
quick,
So,
without screwing anything up.
I apologize, Kent. I didn't know that that was your scenario, or we would have been prepared for this.
well, I didn't know I was coming until this morning.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would have called you and asked.
Okay. At this time, can I ask that can you start your presentation?
Sure.
Thank you.
Well, the presentation starts basically with two aerial views of the site, which I can't show you right now. Basically, the area has been cleared. There was some, if you recall back, the land was basically donated by US Steel. It was sold for $1 in the school district for usage for this purpose. A lot of wetlands were there. We had a fair amount of wrangling with the US Army Corps of Engineers because the lake next door, even though it's Bryan Reservoir, even though it's not a natural lake, with recent legal changes, it's now under the authority of the US Army Corps of Engineers. And so any activity that impacts any wetlands that drains into that lake has to be permitted and reviewed. So we didn't realize that out of the gate, but that's all been taken care of, and we've broken ground. And I guess the things to know most important is the project is going to be on time. The building's going to have, it's a 2-story. It's going to be elementary on one side, and then middle school and high school on the other side with commons in between. And there's going to be a 16,500 square foot community center that'll be attached to it, that'll have a separate entrance and will be usable by the public basically 24 hours a day, provided that safety and security measures are all capable of handling that at that time. Unfortunately for schools, security changes. And so anyway, they're really what the board wanted is they wanted a piece that would be open to the public, would include access to the gymnasiums and that. It would have a workout center, and basically would also house the library and would have some other casual meeting areas. and would be open to all in the school district. So, and the plan is again is to have it open 24/7 if security allows that to happen. The original budget was $48 million for the project. That was what was approved by the school board. The district continues to explore additional funding opportunities. The project, when it was first scoped out in terms of what the school board wanted, exceeded what the community had authorized for the referendum. The referendum had two pieces on it. The first part was the school, the second part was the community center. So when they put all the wants in, it exceeded it, so they cut it back so that they're within budget. And if you've been listening or paying attention to politics in the area, you know that many of the school projects recently have, in some cases, significantly exceeded their budgets. This one won't. This one will be under budget, but the district is working to try to identify and find additional funding sources so that some of the pieces that were taken off or that were removed can be put back. And once you start pouring the foundation, you can't add square footage without a whole lot of cost. But there's other amenities that are inside the buildings, which would be nice, provided funding can be found for them. One of the key pieces is they're looking for additional funding, and there's been conversation on donor potentially putting in a new playground, which significantly impacts the city of Keewatin, because the plan right now is for the playground at the elementary school to be relocated to the new school site. And if we can find someone to donate or to pay or anyway to get funding for that, for construction of a new playground, this one will stay here. So, which would be certainly better for everybody, and that's one of the items that the school board is looking at. So the where they're at today, I'll just read off again because I can't show you. I'll read off where we're at. For the week ending on Friday, T&T Construction from Grand Rapids has substantially completed their site work and are balancing the site off in terms of where all of the dirt needs to go. The roadways have all been established back to the main entrance, parking lot loops, and the roads that go back to the loading dock and the technical education center have all been completed. Again, I have a site plan, but I can't show it to you. So what's up next? Actually, the precast concrete walls for the gymnasiums will start showing up on Monday. And it'll take about 3 weeks, and you'll have, I think it's about 13,000 square feet of the building will basically have the walls up, and then the roof trusses will start going on to tie it together. So that'll start next week. They're finishing up the footings and foundation work, and they're getting all of the footings in that insulated and backfilled. They'll do final grading on the site, hopefully before the snow stops progress for the winter. And they're going to try to button up as much as they can and then start doing inside work in those areas that can be enclosed, completed them, to work through the winter on. And the underground utilities are supposed to be installed over the next couple weeks. So the footing of the foundations are 65% complete. The elementary and wellness locker rooms areas are in progress. The gym, technical education, and the high school areas are actually complete. Shannon's, who's the mechanical contractor, is working on insulating sleeves for the underground plumbing through the foundation walls. And structural steel will actually start going up second week in November. Project is scheduled to be completed late spring of 2025, and that allows for about a 3-month move-in period for the district, and will be open for students starting fall 2025. So a little less than 2 years from today. Some items for the city to consider. The city should be aware current plan includes relocating much of the existing playground, so we've already covered that. And then the city should start considering what should be done with the old Keewatin Elementary School once it's vacated. There's been discussions, I know, with the IRRR about some various options. I know that there's some housing that's going away on the north side of the city relatively soon. But that's probably the biggest thing for the city to consider is what's the highest and best use of that property. and what potentially could be done to either market it, renovate it, or if it's gonna be demoed, ask for the appropriate funding to take care of that. And I think that's pretty much, I mean, like I said, I had a flyby video, and I have, if you wish to see the floor plans, I know they're awful small, I can pass it around if you want. So, but it's gonna be a very pretty school at the end of the day. It's gonna be extremely functional. Again, the community piece, I think, will add an awful lot to the area. And, from the site itself, right now, you cannot see it from 169. But once the site is up and operating, they're gonna look at thinning out the trees and allowing it so that you can see it from 169. And the signage on the side of the two-story building will be facing south, basically, so that when people come down 169, they'll be able to see it. And hopefully it'll be a good marker for the Nashua-Keewatin area to be able to pull people in and be really something to sell the communities with. I know that when I was in management at Blandon, when we bring in professional people who look at the Grand Rapids area, young professionals, first thing they wanted to see was the schools. That was the most important piece, because if you're planning on raising a family, you want to know where those kids are going to go, and you want to know that they're going to have a learning environment that you think is acceptable. And this will be a highlight for them. This will be quite nice. So I know that they've offered some tours the last couple of weeks. There's not a whole lot to see, but I would suggest next spring, if you wish. The construction will be fairly well along. You can either contact ICS or just contact the school. And certainly for elected officials, I'm sure that they would love to have you come take a look, and we'd be more than happy to come back and give updates whenever. And again, I'm subbing for Ray at the moment, but ICS would be happy to come back if you wish, or certainly I think there would probably be value that will be added for Ray to be able to answer some of the direct school related questions. Questions?
Just one.
Kent, is it set in stone that the existing school here goes back to the city?
I don't know the legalities of that, exactly how it goes. And again, I need to speak for the school district, and I can cover that with the business manager and that. That property is currently owned by the school district, but typically when schools are vacated and that, there's an agreement with the city, and the city, normally, unless there's substantial value associated with those properties, basically gets the property for very little or nothing. And again, it's to be put to highest public use at that point. But again, that's a school board decision, certainly not an ICS decision.
We were told we were promised it basically, you know.
And that's kind of my understanding. I just don't want to speak for the school board. Exactly. I don't directly represent them.
We're working on a tear down plan. Presently, it's really costly to do right now, so when I met with our RRB, they discussed there's like maybe 5 or 6 across the range that need to be coming down, not just this one.
Mm-hmm.
We might do some kind of bonding or something to try to do them all at one time in one state bond or like RRB or something.
Yeah, typically right now, we budget about $7 a square foot for demo, but most of the bids have been coming in about 5 to 5.5, which isn't that bad, but still, if you have a 60,000 square foot building, that's still a chunk of money. The IRRR has traditionally been a source of funding for that, but I know that their buckets are changing in terms of how they're designated in that, and again, I wouldn't want to speak for them or promise anything for them, but that's traditionally been one area that's provided help. Again, the school is in a condition where it would be expensive to remodel, apartments and that. So, I mean, that would be the highest and best use or economical use, given what the insurance rates are and the interest rates are.
So I realize that you're here on behalf of somebody else, but So how long, it was a while back when we started having this discussion, one of the pieces of that discussion was the baseball fields and the school utilizing still the fields as part of the long-term plan. Is that anything that you can speak to at this point in time, or is that part of any discussions?
The last information that I had, and again, I've not been at the last couple of school board meetings, but last information that I had was that it was important that the ball fields is now part of the school district and the school district offerings, so that it was still Nashua, Keewatin. And again, it becomes more Keewatin centric, obviously with one building in one location, but certainly having the ball fields and that in Nashua provides better feeling, I think, for the communities as a whole in terms of what we're providing for support for the school and what the school can do for the communities. By the way, it's very nice to see you building one downtown.
Yeah, I don't, and that's just one of those things where they're slowly starting to drift, I guess you could say. I mean, they're not really utilized, and so.
Yeah, and there's no field, there's a small recreational field for the elementary kids right now. But they're planning on continuing to use the football stadium, the baseball field, if you want, and the softball fields here.
Perfect. Okay.
That's a good thing. Any other questions?
Hi, sorry I'm late. I have another
I was
meeting.
too, don't forget.
Kent, are you able to send us that?
Oh, absolutely.
Why don't you do
Yeah, I
that?
can send it to you, Beth, and you can distribute it, and you can see some of the pictures. The drone flyby, I'm not sure if I can, it took 28 minutes for me to download it on my PC, so I'm not sure if I can forward that, if that'll work for you, but I will attempt to do that also,
Very well.
so.
Appreciate you coming today.
Maybe next spring when we get more built up and stuff, we can do this again.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll try to be ready for you next time.
No, well, and again, I should have called and checked, and it was just on short notice and that. No, we're happy to do this. I mean, schools are a very important piece of every community, and it's important that the leadership of the communities know what's going on and know where they're at, and are able to answer questions if the voters have them. So, thank you very much, appreciate
Thank you for coming.
I wish we would have been here. Anything else, Mayor?
And if anybody wants a tour of the site, I can arrange one too.
Yeah.
Like this week or next week or something.
I'd rather wait till spring or something. It's farther along.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that it's far enough off. Actually, if you're on the drive, and I recall the street name, just to the west, you will be able to see the walls going up, and literally in a week, you'll see a half of a gymnasium up, and within 3 weeks, you'll see the full gymnasium up, at least the walls. And then the tie-ins for the structural steel for the roof will be going on shortly after that. So it goes rather quick, actually, if you're able to go by it on a regular basis. It's just that right now, the site access is a bit limited, so.
Thank you.
So, thank you very much, appreciate the invite.
Yeah.
8.6, we need to approve Andy Labarge for the Keewatin Fire Department ride-along program.
Yeah, we've lost some members. One we had moved. We have another one that is potentially moving, so, we're, as fast as we can put them on, we seem to move on. So he's interested, applied, and we put the new ride-along policy into effect for that, so.
Are you short?
Yeah, I think, we're at 16, 17 right now. But, I mean, a lot of people work shift work, so, you know, we're on our 17th or 18th call this month already, so.
Well, I will make a motion to approve Andy Labarge for the Keewatin Fire Department ride along.
I'll second that. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, next up, department head reports. Chris, you have anything on the glacier?
Quick update. On first, the North Second Street, that's cleaned up now, that's a long-standing issue. We got that all taken care of, cleaned up, looked good. And, we'll see what happens next year now, potentially, if there's some tax collector or something. Instructed the clerk to, assess the bill, clean up the property, and, all we can do is go from there. So that's good. And I informed the clerk last week, I let her know that they finally started cleaning up glacier water, Allen's water.
Yeah, on the alley side there, they got quite a ways to go yet.
So they do, they do. It was, I saw a walk dumpster there and I came in
Yeah.
today or yesterday, so it's progress. Most of that freestanding garage type structure is gone, all the junk is gone, but as you said, there's still work to do. But it's, it was a step in the right direction, I guess, pleased to see that, so we keep it a full side and that next week, so hopefully it keeps going. So it's gonna be your snow.
Okay,
That's all I got.
all right, thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
Okay, next up, we got the East Itasca Joint Sewer Board meeting, me and Beth attend. We had some good news there last meeting, Kelly and Marvel attended our meetings, and very highly interested in joining into our sewer system, so if they do, that would really lighten financial part of it for us, so hopefully we can keep moving forward with that. And then, on 11.2 on Wasabi Metallic Company, we've been attending meetings there. That's looking promising. They've got a lot of product on the ground out there and a lot of money invested. And they're working towards building a plant because it's the only way they can get their money back. So if they do build a plant, it's gonna be a boom for our area. For the city, really for the school. It stands in the city, Nashua, Calumet, Marble, Keewatin, will all benefit from that. So we've been supporting it and trying to work towards it. And we also have some, earlier we signed a resolution. They want to donate some stuff to O'Brien. We're working on that. And there'll be other things down the line too. So that's all I got on that. Beth, you have anything on that or?
Not at this time. Fire Chief, did you have something that you wanted to add?
I completed OSHA.
No?
Nice.
Completed OSHA, should be taken care of.
That went good. That, for an ocean inspection, the city came out really good.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Well, because they're gonna find something.
Pretty limited.
Yeah.
You know, the correction we have to make on our end for good testing is relatively simple. so. And already lined up. They'll be here November 20th, so.
Very good. Brian, did you have any?
No formal reports. I have, I know at the last meeting, there had been, a request that Mr. Johnson from Benchmark drop that construction contract off with me. I have received that. It's, I think I broke a shock in my car, taking it home to review it. I'm most of the way through it, so I'll be good on that, for the next week.
Did you set a special meeting? Nope, we do have to set a special meeting for the budget. Thank you, Counselor Levine.
I can just for that.
Would next Wednesday work for everybody?
When is that we do by?
Well, our meeting's the 13th of December, so if we have any thing to review on it, or did you have any questions on it? Or?
No, I mean, if you guys wanted to meet and then just schedule it and then if I can get it out of here. It's just easier, I think.
I mean, 5 o'clock or something on the 1st, would that work?
Yeah, it's just, yeah, just maybe just schedule it.
Okay.
And then if I can come over, I'll get here.
Okay.
So Wednesday at what time?
5.
5 o'clock?
I'll make a motion to set for Wednesday at 5, November 1st,
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
for the budget meeting.
And is there any other meetings besides that? That's it then?
I have one other thing that, we gotta get salt sand. Since the county doesn't supply it anymore, so we are gonna buy salt sand we checked around, private was 58 a ton. So the county will deliver it to us for 48, we could go get it for 38, so it'll either be 38 or 48. We're gonna figure out the gas and how much it costs us to go get it. It might be cheaper just to have the county haul it to us, and we're gonna start out with 50 yards.
I think we should just have the county do it.
Yeah, if you add,
We're-
by the time you add in time and
Right.
labor and
Wages.
all wages and then, yeah.
And I think we're backlogged on stuff that isn't getting done, so I'll make a motion that the county deliver the salt sand to the city at $48.
Second.
Any further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Anything else?
I just have a couple questions. I did talk to Mr. Christensen today from People Service. Apparently the beds have not been emptied yet. That was a directive for 2 meetings ago, I believe. We made a motion to have those done within 2 weeks. So it may not be a problem, but they still have to do some emptying. So they're just going to be stacking up higher. By next year, they'll be even more full. He wants them to be emptied if possible. So I don't know what we can do.
They were directed,
Right.
and last week, Monday, Tuesday, it was nice, and they chose to sweep leaves. And Wednesday, Thursday, Friday rained every day. Once it gets wet, then you gotta wait for it to dry out again. So hopefully, maybe tomorrow or the next day, we're done.
Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, so here we go again, and then we're done 2 guys right now.
Next week, Monday. through
We don't
Friday.
have that. I thought we had someone casual labor working.
We have one, and the other one,
So we have
off for
3
something
right now.
else, So we only have one right
But I mean, 3 employees,
now. Yes,
people that can work.
well, we have one on COVID, so that leaves us 2.
Right.
So maybe they can do it tomorrow. We'll check and see, I guess.
And the status of the plows getting ready and
Those are not done, I was down there and checked today. One hasn't even, I don't believe one hasn't come in yet, right, Beth?
correct. Okay.
So. Anything else? Yes, Wayne?
With us not using them dry bags after this, do you think you could make a set of ramps and use the Bobcat to clean them up? Drive down there? I mean, it's only gonna be, what, how many more times? You bust up a little drain tile, it's gonna matter.
Sure.
It'd be a lot quicker, especially then you can do it when it's heavy.
I thought Paul said we couldn't use equipment.
He didn't want us doing that because he said when we dump the next load in, he didn't want all that sand out of there. It's like a filter.
Well, you gotta leave about that much of the stuff
Right.
on it. If you're a decent operator, you should be able to straighten that.
They're only gonna do 2 beds, Wayne.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well,
2 beds, and they're gonna use the backhoe and pull it, you know,
yeah,
and then shovel it into the bucket and then dump it in the pile. Just so they can dump some more this fall.
Yeah.
Of course, next spring, then they'll all be full and they'll be real thick. Then your idea might be
you know.
real good.
That's all I got.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
And
Meeting adjourned. This was for our meeting.